Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome to my craft room. This is weekend updates, and I thought today I would do a camera facing video because I have a ton of things to tell you about, but maybe not as many to show you, and especially not on the counter, which is fairly clean right now. But I will show you the table and the other stuff I'm working on. I did an updates video last weekend, and I mentioned that I might take some time off, and I did. I got Thursday afternoon, sort of, part of Thursday maybe we'll call it, and all of Friday. I took Friday off and it's been great. So this week I got a pedicure with my friend Noni, and I've been working on my plan for the front yard a little bit. You never see my front yard. It's embarrassing. It's horrible. But I put some Roundup on it, which actually was an improvement. And I read a novel, which I haven't done in forever. I think I read it in like, one night or maybe the next morning. That was pretty great. And then I had contractors come. There was a little thing on our turf that needed to be fixed up. And then the gate, I had some questions about that. So meeting with contractors, and I took Zeus on an outing. We went to McDonald's, got some chicken nuggets. It was very, very exciting. And just goofing off and doing things that I wouldn't have time for because life gets in the way, real life, and you're just busy. The other thing is I was trying to catch up on watching YouTube videos, and I realized I didn't even get to watch all of Joy of Blue. I think I was sick when it came out, and I don't think I realized that I had missed it. So my apologies to those of you who I didn't get around to your videos for like 2 weeks, but I think I'm caught up now. And this weekend, the last day or two kind of got away from me, and let's go ahead and just straight up blame Beth from Bourbon Creek Crafts. If you're not familiar with Beth here on YouTube, be sure and check out Bourbon Creek Crafts. For Smash Our Stash this month, the theme is loose sheets. So I started going through my scrapbook paper, and it snowballed into a giant de-stash. I have 2 stacks of paper that I'm giving away to my Facebook group. We have a buy nothing group in our community, and that works out really well because you don't have to pay shipping. People only go like a mile or 2. They always come to pick it up. It works really well. So I went through, and somehow, maybe when I got some paper from there or when I bought online in a lot, I didn't look at it, and there was pink mixed in. There were a lot of pages. When I looked at them, I thought, this is not going to bring me joy. I don't want to use this. So I started going through, and I separated some things into my travel journals pile, my nature, and it turned into natures and floral piles. Beachy. I was looking for beachy because I wanted to work on beach journals and empty out, well, it's plural. I thought it was going to be 1 journal. It never is it? It's 3. And then I also put some stuff for December dailies, things that were red and green. That's the only reason I kept them. And if I don't find them in December, or I don't know, maybe I'll do Christmas in July, I won't use them. So I sorted and I sorted and I sorted. I lost like half of today, and my friend Katie was like, I'm gonna come over and check your progress. And I was like, uh-oh. So there is progress. I consolidated iris cases. Look, I have several empty iris cases in my room, and I'll tell you what I need those for later. So I've been working on the de-stash, and I won't probably sell any on YouTube or do anything like that. I'm just trying to get stuff cleared out. And I edited hours of video because I filmed smashing the small pad. It's, I think, 2 videos that are almost an hour long. So you guys are going to need some coffee, okay? And I'll tell you when those come out. Then let's see, what else did I work on? The way the whole loose sheets, this is how it started. It was going to be very simple. I was going to take out a few school themed cards and make, I don't know, half a dozen for my loose sheets, right? That was going to be my challenge. I thought, hey, if I make 6 cards, because if you've been around year after year, I like to make cards for school office staff, and there are a lot of schools near me. So I usually end up, I say it's 60 something. I think it's more like easily 80 that I make. So if I wait until May, it just doesn't work. Somebody asked me last year, they caught maybe the last video and they were new to my channel, and they were like, well, if you're gonna make someone a card, why don't you take the time to make them the absolute best card that you can? And I was like, well, there's a timeline on this. They leave for summer. If I take too long on these cards, they won't get them, and I wanna be sure everyone gets one. So I'll tell you about that, maybe give you a peek, but really that's for Smash Our Stash. I thought I was gonna make one beach journal, and then I opened up the bin where I've been stashing. It was actually, I think it was this one, Beachy. I've been stashing things. Melody Made here on YouTube, she gave me a Beachy digikit. She makes these gorgeous kits and does amazing mixed media things, and she gave it to me, and I thought, I have to use that. Summer's coming, it'll empty out a bin, let's do it. I had put so much good stuff in there. It's 3 journals, easy. And I don't know, maybe it's 3 and a mini, maybe it's 4. I hope it's only 3. And because the weekend, this is Saturday night right now, so you'll see this video Sunday morning, and I have plans to go out to breakfast Sunday, and Mr. Crafting and Relaxing is going to be home, so I'm probably not going to spend all day in the craft room. Then I was thinking, as I was sorting those papers, I don't think I'm going to do nature journals next. Sorry, Tony. I think my next thing, if some miracle occurs and I stay up really late and this place is magical, I think it would be travel journals next, because that bin is super full and I'm going to travel, and I bet a lot of you are. I know our friend Mary from South Salem, she's traveling. I'll tell you about that. Hang on, because that is exciting. I'll tell you about that. But those are the projects that I'm working on. I'm not sure what I was supposed to be doing. I think in my mind, I thought I was going to do Smash Our Stash and then film it, and then Joy of Blue and then film it. And that would be an amazing, like, I'd be all caught up because I'm going to travel. And so I wanted to do it that way. It's not how it worked out. 3 Beachy journals. If that isn't Joy of Blue, I don't know what is. Even if I only finish one and film it, I'm still good. Also, if you see journals and projects, just be sure and message me if there's one that you want. I have a thing on my Etsy page where you and I make an arrangement. You tell me which one you want and you just go and pay for that item. It has a picture of my Pooh Bear. So if you're new here, that's super weird, but I have a few things in a bin, but for the most part, I don't get around to listing on Etsy, and things sell anyway. Tony already claimed a nature journal and I haven't even started them. It could be ugly. I don't take your money until something is done, because you have to see it done. You just get dibs. Let's see what else. Okay, now I think I told you that I was going to Kansas City, but I'm not sure I really told you why and what's going on. I have been to Kansas City before. I went to Scraps KC, went to a Garth concert, got to visit one of my friends. It was great. But I didn't go to Missouri Star Quilt Company because my friend Katie, it's on her bucket list, and it just would have been not cool to go without her, right? So, and Mr. Crafting and Relaxing was not excited for the side trip. So we are gonna go into Kansas City. We're gonna goof off there. We're gonna hit Scraps KC. Then we're going out to Hamilton to Missouri Star Quilt Company. And then we'll probably come back into town and hit KC Scraps again. Now that's several days, right? That is not a one day. KC Scraps alone, even for me, is like 2 hours. It's amazing. Our friend Mary was there today. She messaged me when she went in. She messaged me when she got in line. 2 hours. And I think that's how long it takes me too. It's amazing in there. If you're anywhere near Kansas City and you're a crafter, go. You can support their mission, you can buy craft supplies, and feel great about yourself. So go for it. My friend Katie and I have mapped out all the cross-stitching stores, fabric stores, paper crafting stores in the Kansas City area. We're gonna have barbecue, we're gonna hit Culver's and have some frozen custard. If you don't know it, here in Oregon, we don't have that. And we have Dairy Queen, and we have a couple other places, but we do not have anything that can hold its own with Culver's. I'm just saying, okay? So if there's somewhere else you think we need to go, let us know. I also want to hit KC Pet Project while I'm there. Do you know they have 280 dogs in their care today? 280. If you don't think that your pets need to be spayed or neutered, think about how many people would have to come to the shelter in one day for those pets to get adopted. That is crazy, right? Because not everybody adopts, not everybody finds. So when you see these things on Instagram, LA, Texas, lots in the Midwest, East Coast, the reason these dogs don't get any attention is because there's so many of them. Where I live, I am blessed to be near a shelter where there aren't that many dogs. They get adopted fairly quickly unless they're kind of hard to place, you know, chases cats, that kind of thing. And they get walked 2-3 times a day. And when a potential adopter comes through there, they see every one of the dogs that's ready for adoption. I don't think I could see 280 dogs. I just don't think I have it in me. So keep that in mind, okay? Spay, neuter. I'm going to come down off my soapbox now. You know how I am about that. So my friend Katie has an empty cupboard in her craft room that is ready for our trip to Missouri Star Quilt Company. So that's why I've been trying to empty out Iris cases. Not that I'm going to take the cases on our trip, but I need some empty shelves, right? If nothing else, when I come home, I need places to put it. I've been to Scraps KC before. KC Scraps? Scraps KC? I don't know. You guys will figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to come out of there with a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to take Mr. Crafting and Relaxing suitcase because, in case you need to know, those Away suitcases that they advertise, the Away carry-on, holds 12 by 12 paper. Mine does not hold 12 by 12 paper. So just keep that in mind. Very cool. It's very flat and it fits nicely. So we're going to do that. If you want to meet up when we're in Kansas City or you're interested in that, message me. I'm not going to say like on the internet when I'm going to be where. That's weird. Also, don't come and rob my house because it won't be empty. Okay. And okay, now let's talk about videos that are coming up. This Wednesday, there's going to be the first of the small pad process video. I think it might be almost an hour. I don't know. It's crazy long. I just stopped it because it got too long and said, I'll be back. And there was not an actual exit, but I will be back. And then Friday is Smash Our Stash. And that's going to be loose sheets. So who knows? People could be doing scrapbook pages. They could be making mini albums, anything. When you get into 12 by 12, actually it didn't specify 12 by 12. And I have loose sheets of all kinds of sizes too. So who knows? Then Sunday, which would be Easter, if you celebrate Easter, I'm not going to have an updates video next weekend, I don't think. I think Sunday I'm going to have the second part of the small pad process because I leave for Kansas City on Tuesday. And my local friends and I, we planned a trip to a nursery on Saturday. Sunday is Easter. I need to get packed. Work is crazy busy. So I'm sure I will do some work in that weekend. And then Monday will be a long day too. So I don't think we're going to have an updates video. As far as what I'm going to take for crafty projects, I'm probably going to take supplies to make little strip cards, and I have some videos on that on my channel. And I have some videos about where I packed up what to take on a trip or travel. I'm thinking of the keywords, but when I fly, I can only take so much. And then I was thinking I might actually start a cross-stitch project that Katie gave me because I want to take 2 projects because we'll have Kansas City, 2 nights in Hamilton, and then I think another night in Kansas City. I think it's 4 nights, something like that. So there's a couple different nights, and we're probably going to have tired feet, so we'll want to sit around, do some stitching and crafting. Okay, I'd ask you if you have any questions, but that might not help, right? Well, if you have questions, you can post them down below, because this was a lot of information, wasn't it? Zeus is not here, so you can't see what he's doing. It's almost 6 o'clock p.m. You know what that means here. And so if he comes in, he's going to be kind of agitated anyway. He doesn't hang out with me in the craft room like Pooh and Wilson did. Mr. Crafting and Relaxing isn't even home, and he's in there sitting in his spot on the couch waiting for him, I guess. So I'm not his favorite human. I'm just moderate. In his defense, though, I have stuff in his chair. I've been banging around all day. It's been a lot. And Noni came over and Katie came over and we went for a walk and we played fetch. He may already be out for the night. I'll probably have to wake him up to feed him. He doesn't have the dinner clock like my other dogs had. I mean, Wilson at 5:38 would be like big-eyed and in your face. Okay, let me show you, and let me tell you, it looks a lot better now than it did when Katie got here. This is open because I put a bunch of books back. I was flattening the card bases that I'll give you a peek at. Look, nothing down there, doing pretty good. Oh, this whole corner's bad. I was going to work on the cupboard of shame today. That was my plan. But Beth and her loose sheets, you know, it went crazy from there. I have a bin for school cards because it got bigger than just the Ziploc bag I was putting it in. Thanks so much to Crafty Eileen. You can find her here on YouTube for those 12 by 12 Ziploc bags. I love them. I use them all the time. Love them. Okay, here's a peek. I think there's 35 or 36 card fronts here that I made out of loose sheets. So between these and the 6 actual cards I already have made, I'm almost halfway there. Now, only about maybe 2 of these are what I would call decorated, but I think that's pretty good, and I would not have done that this weekend if it wasn't for Beth, so big shout out. Oh, check out my new cup. My sister didn't make this one, but I think she would support it. It is super cute. I found it in a shop when Noni and I were goofing off, and it is handmade. Okay, if you're new here, then I'm going to tell you this place is always clean, and today is just an anomaly. How about that? The table comes and goes, and you can see right here I have a bag. It started out all red and green, and then I added a little blue. I'm going to put this with my Christmas stuff in the other room. Don't tell Mr. Crafting and Relaxing that I'm slowly taking over the other room. Then I have 3 beach journals. I'll give you a peek at the cover. This one is like a rice paper type thing that I had purchased long ago and envisioned. This one, look, scrapbook paper, super cute. And then this one. So they're not sewed together yet, but you can see I'm laying things out and getting ideas. And I think I'm ready to sew them together. I've gone through and added some washi. Beach journals don't feel like I'm going to sew a lot of stuff into them. I don't know. I just don't think so. Then this is my pile of scraps and what have you. I had this in the middle, and you know, in the middle of one of them. Color-wise, this is a stretch for me, but I loved the shimmer, but I just took it out because nothing else was pink. I just don't think I'm a mermaid person. So I think I'll put this maybe in the stuff I'm giving away. So those are the beach journals that there was supposed to be one, and then that happened. And then this is that cover I made a while ago. I wasn't feeling it for a beach journal, but I don't know what it's going to be yet. And then some papers that I pulled out. But look, that is pretty clean. That counter isn't too bad. I added another box of nature and floral as I sorted. So that box I traded. And then there's a ton of the vintage and the natural. So I should start those. But there's a bin somewhere of travel, and it is so full the lid barely closes. And then I'm not going to tell you why yet, but I'm going to work on red, white, and blue. So I'll get out probably a bunch of my embellishments and stuff in April also. So I just got a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of stuff. This is my actually sorted paper collections and that sort of thing. And I just decided with that much inventory, I needed to bring my loose sheets down. So if I saw a piece of paper and it didn't bring me joy, it didn't stay. And the other thing that I was doing, Katie was talking about how she processed, and this might be like a quilter term, or maybe it's just because Katie's super organized. She processed all of her scraps into squares or strips so they're ready for projects. So I thought, instead of moving these 12 by 12 sheets around and saying, I'm gonna make school cards out of them, well, Beth said we were doing it this month, so we're doing it. So I just started chopping and chopping and chopping. Ooh, I found another piece of basic gray in the loose sheets too. That is what is going on in the craft room. And if you were close, then I would hope that you would come and hang out and help me, like Noni did. She came and, well, she brought me more stuff. I don't know if that was a help. But those little tiny round diamond dots, is that it? You know, yeah, for making those pictures. Those are great embellishments. If you have a friend who does that, get some of those extras. I didn't have any yellows, like for flower centers, so she brought me some of those. This bin it was an entire iris case of pattern scraps. Maybe it wasn't full. it's just a waste. So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to thin it down, organize it a little, maybe put some in the giveaway pile. And maybe it'll become a 12 by 12 Ziploc bag from my friend Crafty Eileen instead of this whole box, right? I'm trying to empty some things out. What I found was that beachy stuff, I bet that was in there for a year. We'd have to check when Melody gave me that. A bunch of those vintage, I'm going to make, those journals have been there. The travel stuff, I don't know where that box went, but I know it's been in that box for a year. So time to clean up. Time to make some of these projects so when I go to Scraps KC, I can get more stuff. And it's amazing. Nancy, I'm going to see you very soon. And Katie and I are so excited. All right. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope my mess didn't scare you away. And be sure to come back for Smash Our Stash. I'm hoping maybe some of those will be completed card fronts when you watch that video. But I think it was... Oh, I'm going to get it wrong. Anyway, how about if I say this? Someone in our Smash Our Stash collab does things in phases. And so she was showing card fronts, and then each month she was kind of adding on to them. It was kind of fun to see it from my perspective and see how she worked. And when I do giant batches of cards, I like to assembly line them anyway. So it'd be kind of cool to have a stack of like 80 of these ready to go and a whole bunch of embellishments and just mix and match and have a great time. And the color scheme works with a lot of the embellishments that I have accumulated for school cards. So I don't know, it might work. Follow me on Instagram. That's where you're most likely to see things about the trip to Kansas City, and Katie and I will keep you updated, and I hope she won't show you every piece of fabric. And she is on Instagram. I'm not sure if her account's public, so I'll check that. Oh, and if you talk to me on TikTok, I barely know how to use TikTok. So if I don't answer you, that's why. Be sure you talk to me on Instagram, or I'm moderately decent at Facebook, and there's always email. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.